What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to a live stream that I personally didn't even want to do. Didn't want to go live again. I can't even bullshit it. Like, I did not want to. I don't want to be live right now. But many of you, I was watching Ryan's stream, and we had a lot of people earlier talking about things, and I didn't want to be selfish because I am lucky enough to have family and people around me, and I know there's a lot of people, and it's going to sound really gay, but there's a lot of people right now that are very angry and very confused. I'm one of them, but there's a lot of people that don't have, friends, family, or whatever, and so I didn't want to sit around and just feel sorry. So I instead of doing that, because I don't like, like I said on my stream earlier, I'm still not understanding how to process all of this, and the few hours that I've not been live has not given me any more clarity. I'm still fucking confused. I still don't understand it. I was walking around and just asking, God, how could this happen to someone like, Charlie Kirk? What's the goal here? What's the point here? And there is a point and there is a goal to it, but it's just so hard to see, man. It's so hard to understand. So yeah, I'm really struggling with this whole thing. I'm really struggling with this whole thing, and I'm really trying to piece all of it together. With that said, I hope everybody's doing okay. This has been clearly a horrific day, to say the least, and there's a ton of podcasters and there's a ton of talking heads like me that are out there talking and trying to make sense of this whole thing. But knowing, especially when you hear more people that knew Charlie Kirk directly. I didn't know Charlie, but I know people that know him. You're hearing the stories from people that knew him, and he had so many good relationships out there that the whole thing is just, it's really tough, man. It's really tough, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. I made a few tweets about it, that kind of put some of my thoughts into perspective right here. And this one, I thought, this one I think does kind of put it in perspective a little bit. Charlie Kirk is in heaven, and his passing will change the country and the world. Humanity will be better because of him. And that's something that every man lives for, is for their legacy to go beyond their time here on earth. And evil exists, and they are currently showing everyone who they are right now. Pray for his beautiful family. And I consider myself a changed man right now. I really do. I have this has changed me. This moment has changed me. I don't really know how yet, but I do know that it has changed me. And I see the reaction everywhere, and I think a lot of people have changed. So it's not just me. I think a lot of people have changed. And that will be part of his legacy. And yeah, I mean, it does. It seems like a pun to say that this is a turning point, but it truly is. Thank you, Ryan, for the raid. What's up, Laughing Man? I see you, brother. And shout out to Ryan. It was awesome to be on stream with Ryan and Gary today. I was watching a little bit of my stream earlier, and I don't remember it much because I was processing so much information that I don't really like you know what I remember? I remember when I saw the close-up video. And I was not prepared for that. So I saw the first video I saw was the first video that I shared on stream, which is a pretty distant shot. Still not good. Still very, very disturbing to see it. But the close-up shot is one that I saw on stream for the first time. And I remember seeing that, and I don't remember much after that. Let me go ahead and, again, it doesn't show it, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'll play the beginning part. And I would not, again, I know most people have probably already seen that horrific thing, but if you are on the fence about it, I would not recommend watching the close-up at all. Is this it right here? So this is the part, if YouTube will work. YouTube's not even working for me right now, so here we go. Oh, here, okay. Oh man, the video's bad. The video is awful. I just saw it. I can't show the video. And the video that I just saw, the video I just saw, I don't think there's a, yeah, man. The video I just saw, I don't think there's a chance that he survives. I don't think that there's, I don't see any possible way where a human being can survive what I just saw. I will retweet it, but I cannot post this on YouTube. And I ended up not retweeting it either. I didn't want to retweet it. And yeah. So my goodness, man. I can't, I still, like, I have been, so in my lifetime, when I was back in 2001, a lot of you may not remember this because a lot of you may not have been alive then, but in 2001, there was a man named Dale Earnhardt, and he was my favorite race car driver, and he died on the last lap of the Daytona 500 when his car owned, Michael Waltrip was driving the car that he owned in first place, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., his son, was in second place, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. was in third place, blocking, trying to protect the lead for the two cars that he owned. And he got, Sterling Marlin barely got into his quarter panel. He lost control, hit the wall head on, and he died. And I was watching that race live. I found out Earnhardt died when I was in church. It was a crazy, crazy time. But it made sense because Dale Earnhardt died doing what he loved. That's how I got closure from it. Dale Earnhardt, for those that don't know, was literally the Michael Jordan of NASCAR. He was the Tom Brady of NASCAR. He was the central figure in NASCAR. No one was bigger. No one was more popular. No one. And I was thinking to myself, like, how could this happen? How could this happen? Well, he died at Daytona. He died with his son and Michael Waltrip in the lead. He died doing what he loved. Charlie Kirk died doing what he loved. And that's the way that I'm trying to make sense of all of this. Charlie Kirk died doing what he loved. And so he was fighting for America. He was educating young people on what's going on. And that's how I found closure with Dale Earnhardt's death. And that's how I'm working on trying to get closure on Charlie Kirk's death. Also, Charlie Kirk's legacy will be probably more impactful now than it could have ever been. And that's the truth. I talked about this on the stream earlier with Ryan and Gary, but I mean, I don't think this is hyperbole, but I do think this is the single biggest moment of my lifetime. This is bigger than the Trump assassination. Now, you might want to say 9/11 is better, but I mean, from an individual perspective, I mean, this is the biggest individual death that I have ever experienced in my lifetime, in my opinion. I'm seeing everyone talking about it. I just saw this tweet right here from Pat McAfee, actually. Right here, look at here. Pat McAfee just said, Charlie Kirk, a name synonymous with having the courage to speak what you believe and seek welcome conversations for those whom you disagree with. I'm not a political person, but I'm a proud American citizen, and today was startling, saddening, and maddening all at the same time. I've realized that I'm a bit naive to how crazy it has all become, but watching a man get hunted and slayed in broad daylight because of his opinions made me disgusted and devastated. This can't be what we actually are or become as a country. I believe the good people will always outnumber the evil people, but damn, today was an alarming day for our country's history. 2 kids lost a dad, a wife lost a husband. That can never be lost. That can never be lost. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. And he's not the only one. Like, everyone is speaking out about this right now. Everyone. Look who, I played this earlier on Ryan's stream. Corey Harrison from Pawn Stars dropped a truth bomb.
You know what? We lost a great one today, guys. I'm just going to throw it out there. I never thought I'd agree with Democrats, man. Thoughts and prayers aren't enough this time. There needs to be action. I'm done with this. This is ridiculous. You guys ever notice it's one side? It's one side every single time. Do you know what happens when you sit there, CNN, MSNBC, when you sit there and you demonize somebody, you call them a Nazi? Nazis are supposed to be evil. You're literally telling the entire country, that every one of your viewers, everybody that watches you online, that this man, it's okay to kill Nazis, right? You don't like the way he thinks. Who's the Nazi? You guys literally let this man die on your watch. You guys are the one that contributed to this. It was every single one of you that supported anything that they said. Every Democrat, every news channel, anybody that ever said, if you don't think the way we think, this man is a Nazi. This man had 3 children. He was a pastor. He was a father, and he was loved by a bunch of people. You guys killed this man, whether you pulled the trigger yourself. There needs to be action. There needs to be something done. And there needs to be perp walks for this. You guys created a monster. You guys have to deal with it. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I commented this, and this is blowing up. It's got 50,000 likes. It's got 1.4 million views. I was like, hell yeah, this is the right attitude. Respect, brother. Fuck yes. And we got a little bit of news right here. The piece of shit on MSNBC that we heard from earlier has been fired from MSNBC.
But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Oh, you fucking piece of, oh my God. I want to say so much about that motherfucker. but I'm just glad that he got fired. I'm just glad that he's not. Well, first of all, the MSNBC, like they are literal trash. MSNBC is literal trash. My God, man, you are seeing the effect of Charlie Kirk's legacy right now. I've got an interesting clip that I want to play for everyone. And I think this is there's some meat on this bone. There's some meat on this bone. So right here, Patrick Bet David has a pretty interesting theory right here. Let's listen to what Patrick Bet David has to say.
What's at the top of the list of your concerns in terms of who did it and why?
So let's process that. Let's look at all the options of who this could be. One, somebody who was just upset after the last 48 hours of what happened, all the divisiveness of the shooting, of the murder of Irina, the Ukrainian young lady. And so somebody may have said, you know what, screw you, Charlie, you've been going too tough, and came and took him out. Okay, that's one. Number two, it could be somebody that has been plotting to take out Charlie for a couple of years, and he's been planning for this because he's the opposing side. Okay, great. Number three, it could be a controlled opposition of somebody that's been funding it for this to happen, and they were trying to fund their patsy. Great. Number four, it could be in the next few days, Chris, if in the next few days.
So this is the part I want you to listen to right here. This is a very interesting theory that Patrick Bet David is about to drop. I want you to listen closely to what he's about to say.
Or it could be in the next few days, Chris, if in the next few days, an opposing Charlie Kirk figure, I won't give names because I don't even want to put those names out there. If in the next week, an opposing person from the left gets assassinated, you have to know this is happening from an outside source, a different country that wants to see America have a civil war. We are having so many victories right now. So many things are happening that too many people are afraid. Too many people are respecting America again. Too many people are afraid of America again, like in a respectful way. These are some of the things I have. And by the way, I'm purely speculating, just like any businessman will do, any investor will do. I'm not, it's one or the other. I'm just saying, I wonder what it is. But those are some of the options.
Very, very interesting theory floated out there by Patrick Bet David. I don't know, man. Joseph Sasser for 50 says, the time for talk is over. They shut up our best speaker. Guess we'll have to speak with something else now. Let's see. Alan Tanasi for 20 says, Charlie started to criticize Israel. Word is he said he might be killed over it. Let's be honest. We probably won't know the full truth or who or why things are the way they are playing out. Mixed reports like Vegas shooting. Retro Knight says, thank you for the community you've built. We all needed it today. I appreciate that. But I also just appreciate all of you. And that's really like, man, I was just sitting around, I'd spent some time with my family, and then I was just like, man, I don't want to go live. I legitimately don't. I am exhausted mentally. Not to feel sorry for me. There are a lot of people that had a terrible day today. I'm just one person, so I no sympathy for me. But I'm just saying, like, I just didn't want to go live. But like I said, I think it was Usage sent a super chat earlier, and he just said, like, I canceled our Mario Kart stream because I felt like it would have been weird to go play video games. And I'm not to say if anybody else wants to go do that. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying, like, for me, with how closely I'm connected to this world, I just didn't. I could not play Mario Kart with all this shit going on. And so but Usage had sent a super chat earlier asking me he's like, can you please do it? Because there's a lot of people that could use this and all that. And that's really why I went live here, because I was just like, I am a lucky individual. I have a great family, a great support system. I pretty much have everything a man could ask for. I'm very, very lucky. And but there's a lot of people that don't have that, and I'm just one guy that I am so retarded that I make you feel better about your life. And that's really what I hope to accomplish with my streams, is that I'm such an idiot that I make you feel better about whatever effed up thing is going on in your life. And so that's the goal that I'm trying to accomplish. And hopefully I'm able to do that for some of you. But I know Ryan was live. I know Jay was live earlier, and we're just trying to keep as much coverage up as we can to give everyone an outlet, things like that. And so it's been a rough day. It really has. Snooty Mims for 20 says, Jeremy, you're 100% correct. Look at Charlotte, and now today they are going after people. It's we the people. My friends, stay strong. God bless. Thank you, Snooty Mims. I appreciate it. Laughing Man for 2 says, it doesn't make any sense, God's plan. Thank you, Laughing Man. And I saw what you sent there on Ryan's stream. And honestly, I think it needs to be played again. Dan Vasc has put out videos, music videos that have gotten millions and millions and millions of views. His Witcher cover got more than the Witcher song itself. The man is a legitimate rock star. He may have dropped his greatest hit today, and we're going to play it. I know that Ryan played it not too long ago, but we're going to play it again. This is what Laughing Man was asking for. This might be Dan Vasc's greatest hit right here, and it needs to be heard by everybody. It's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Dan Vasc.
Just wanted to say something from the Brazilian perspective. Like, what happened today is grave. What's been happening in the West, not only the United States, we've seen it happening in the UK and Brazil, is grave, but it's not surprising. It's grave, but not surprising. And you know, for the people who might be here that don't know me, I am a Brazilian. I have seen that sort of shit happening before. You guys remember in 2018, Bolsonaro, our only opposition to the left here in Brazil and maybe in South America at that time, was nearly killed in an assassination attempt in my town, just in my town. I was there at the rally. And when that failed, the left now is trying to kill him, to assassinate him politically. It's trying to lock him for life. And I know what it's like to watch a country eaten away by Marxist ideology. And this is not random. This follows a pattern. Marxism, socialism, communism, it's all different drinks made out of the same poison. It's an ideology responsible for some, if not the greatest man-made killings in history, ever recorded by history. So a murderous ideology, people who defend a historically murderous ideology are capable of murdering, are capable of committing those atrocities that historically they are aware of and are still defending. Our history repeats itself. So something that always shocked me about some Americans, not all, but some of you, I feel, don't know as much as you should about Marxism, don't know as much as you should about the history of communism. And I'm here to encourage you to change that. Read about it. The Black Book of Communism, great work. Learn the numbers, study the records, and you will understand that what happened today with Charlie Kirk, was not extraordinary. It follows a pattern. It's the norm. A murderous ideology is going to murder. I'm not here to encourage you to do anything stupid.
Yeah.
But I want to encourage you to stay firm, to stay vigilant, be rational in this moment, but also don't be naive. It's time to start having the balls to bring the change from down up. Well, Jeremy and Gary and everyone here, we're always saying that politics is downstream from culture, right? And culture starts from down up. It starts from you having the balls in your personal life to start saying no, to start cutting ties, to start issuing ultimatums, to start saying, what the fuck, dude? That sort of sociopathic shit evil shit doesn't cut with me. If you value my friendship, don't ever bring that up in front of me ever again. Politely but swiftly start bringing change to your personal life, to your personal relationship. Start saying no to that evil in your relationships, in your business, in your family. And I promise you, your life will be better for it.
Well,
that's what I wanted to
said.
say. Just want to.
I knew when I was sitting there, I was like, I'm sitting here for a fucking amazing clip. And that's exactly what we got from Dan. Absolutely awesome. Well said. And dude is legit, man. So hail Dan Vask. Absolutely awesome. Fantastically, amazingly brilliant for 20 says, hey, Jeremy, formerly Alice in Blunderland. What's up, Alice? Been a while since I saw you. Sent you a super chat in your last live stream, but you weren't able to get around to it. I'm still in shock and feeling nauseous when I hear certain groups of people celebrate this tragedy. I do. I understand it. I share it. I share that with anybody who's struggling with this. I'm just telling you right now, I'm struggling tonight too. I am struggling to find, the right words and to try to make sense of all of this. I really am. So I feel you on that. And I am historically a person that doesn't struggle with stuff like that, but I am struggling right now. Brock for $100. Thank you, Brock. Says Charlie may be gone, but the impact he had on thousands of people will not be forgotten. Well said. Well said. Renee's rambling says, it's bad when Jeremy's praising Dan Vask. You should have saw mine. And Dan, if you want to, I don't know if he's watching, but Dan, if you want to screenshot our brief conversation, we had a longer conversation, but you're welcome to post that to social media. You can show how we talk to each other. It was typical dude talk. We've got KRS10. Thank you for the $100. I showed my support to Ryan, and here's my support to you. Thank you for making a space for all of us. Man, hey, thank you again. I will sound like a broken record before the night is up, but I only have the opportunity to do this because of all of you. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do this. Oracle of Doom for 5222 says prayers to all of those who have fallen in the name of the light. Hail the 199. RIP Charlie Kirk. Well said. Thank you so much. Chris for 50 says Gen X has been activated. A sleeping giant has awoken. Prayers for Charlie. 100%. And that's really what this is. That's where I'm starting to make sense of a lot of this, is where, man, things are happening on a level that I'm not sure anyone really understood. And again, I'm going to repeat some of the things that we were talking about on, Ryan's stream. But when the New York Yankees held a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, we are in a different stratosphere. I mean, this is crazy.
Two children is 31 years old.
I mean, we are in a different stratosphere. On top of that, we had, let me see if I can find it really quickly. The New York Yankees even tweeted out this. That's crazy. Right here. The New York Yankees, before tonight's game, we held a moment of silence in memory of Charlie Kirk. Kirk founded the youth activist group Turning Point USA. I mean, this is crazy. 224,000 likes. Not only that, tomorrow, the New York Yankees are hosting President Trump on 9/11. I got to be honest, I'm not thrilled about President Trump being in the public right now, but it's necessary. I'm sure from his perspective. But yes, the New York Yankees will have President Trump at the game tomorrow. Pre-game ceremonies will recognize the victims and heroes of 9/11. So there you have it. I love the Yankees now, chat says. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it makes me really appreciate the Yankees. You know, I mean, that's the type of things that change the culture right there. Moments like that fundamentally change it. There was let's see. Oh, wow. So senior developer for Sucker Punch video games celebrates Charlie Kirk's death. Ghost of Yote is dead to me now, says Grums. 1000%. Don't ever let these people, like, this is where I have changed my mentality of things. Like, I'm done playing the bullshit games with these leftists. I'm done with it. I like these leftists that want to push their leftist ideology into the sports and entertainment. I am completely just out. I don't want to. It's an impossible task to say you don't want to support this because I'm just telling you, like, if there's like for instance, wrestler CM Punk, fuck Phil Brooks forever, fuck CM Punk forever. CM Punk is a leftist piece of shit. I noticed that CM Punk never talked about Hulk Hogan's passing. We never heard a fucking word from Phil Brooks about the legend Hulk Hogan's passing. Fuck you, CM Punk. You only have a job because of Hulk Hogan. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, CM Punk would be working at a fucking Waffle House right now. But Hulk Hogan gave that motherfucker a career, and he didn't pay any respect to Hulk Hogan because he hated Hulk Hogan. I'm tired of these people. I'm sick and tired of them. CM Punk would have such a pathetic life, he wouldn't be able to be a straight edge without Hulk Hogan. He'd be an alcoholic drug addict because he'd be so depressed with his fucked up life. But Hulk Hogan gave him an opportunity to be a multimillionaire, and he couldn't even pay him the least bit of respect when he passed away. And CM Punk wears t-shirts out to the ring talking about trans rights or human rights. Protect trans kids. So this is where we are. They decided to make everything about politics. They did it. Into Anthers, is that how I say that? For $20, says snipers don't go for the head. Odds are he was wearing protection, which eliminates going for the center mass, leaving the neck for the lethal shot. Now ask yourself, who can hit a soup can from 200 yards? A pro, that's who. Yeah, I mean, so we've had a lot of conflicting reports, but let's just say that if the reports are true that this is from 200 yards away and you got a direct hit in the exact place you wanted to go, I mean, you know, we'll see. But I don't know how far away it was. There's been so many things reported, so I have no idea. Let's see here. He's probably aiming for his head. Do you think? You think he was aiming for his head? 200 yards is more than Trump's attempt at Butler and JFK's assassination. I don't even know. I don't know how long. I don't know how far away the JFK assassination was. I have no idea how far the Trump one was. So I'm sure a lot of people probably have more perspective on that. The thing I saw on Google Maps says it was 450 feet away. See, like I said, it's impossible with all the information that's out there to figure out what's what. Companion Cube says, it's a tragedy. A man's life was taken. I feel for his family, even if I can't even begin to understand how they are feeling. It's depressing to see this happen, but I believe more good will come from this. We need it. It's hard to process that. It is, but you know, Mola Ramp says, it's been a tough day, and you and Jay and Ryan's stream and Gary being there made me feel a little less shitty. Thank you, man. Hail the 199. Hey, I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Thank you so much. JB username says, I'm angry. That's all I've got to fucking say. I hear you on that, brother. Laughing Man says, Jeremy let Beardo skip my super chat, and it was 199. Big Ounce says, I think this is the first time I agree with Destiny. This is how a degenerating democracy appears when two lawmakers, died from that, or what is it? I don't know what you're saying there. People should have woken up from that. I don't know what Destiny said. I tend not to pay attention to anything Destiny says. Yeah, I don't know if Destiny's had anything to say. I probably have, I think I have Destiny's name muted on Twitter. So James says, at some point the so-called silent majority has to stop being silent. RIP Charlie. Tyler Harris says, there's a reason why they don't ever bring up the I'm gonna say it, the revolution and what tribe was behind it. It offed over 30 million Orthodox Slavic Christians, but they scream about Mustache Man. Trent Noir says, hey, Jeremy, I follow you and Dan, and I'm from Brazil. What he says is pure truth, and you should all pay attention to this. Here we can be arrested for just disagreeing with politicians. Dan's awesome, man. He's a great friend, too. He really is. I know we roast each other and talk shit and all that, but he legitimately is a good friend. Aussie Dad Andrew says, I haven't felt this angry in a long time. Back Goat says, Reverend, can you bless this chat? I'll have to wait for another time, man. It's not the time for that, but I do appreciate it on another stream. But this is not going to be like your typical like meme Cobra Cast and playing the clips and all that. It's just, it doesn't feel right to do that right now. But on another stream, I will catch up and do stuff like that. But I just can't. I don't have it in me to do that. We did get a statement and a 4-minute video from President Trump. And I'll play that for you if many of you missed that earlier. This is President Trump and what he had to say. And I have one with subtitles on. So here we go right here. Here's President Trump.
Fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Well said from President Trump. And I think it's important to show what Charlie Kirk's last tweet was. This is where it just fucks with my head, man. This bothers me so much. You know, a lot of these guys don't run their own Twitter accounts and all that. So I have no idea if Charlie Kirk ran his Twitter account. I have no idea. I would assume he probably did, but this is where it fucks with my head. So like, this was 9 hours ago on Charlie Kirk's Twitter account. 9 hours ago. This was his last tweet.
On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on the rail system in Charlotte, North Carolina, by a savage career criminal.
Her life story, I think, will be told both in the United States and Ukraine for years to come. What do you think the importance of this story is most fundamentally?
This was one of the coldest, most senseless murders I've ever seen. She had no interaction with this guy whatsoever. She was sitting minding her own business, and he just takes out a knife and just decides to stab her. I do say this with some form of just heaviness. I don't like politicizing situations like this, but it just necessitates it because there are so many dynamics at play here. Based on the information evidence we have, the attacker did say, "I got that white girl." The attacker racialized it in his own telling of this situation. And we all know this. Any honest observer of your program knows this, including Van Jones even knows this deep down, which is that, of course, if a random white person on a subway took out a knife and stabbed a black girl senselessly to death, there would be massive media coverage. There would be policy changes. There would be people having to apologize for this. We saw this in George Floyd. And yet, for whatever reason, this situation has not garnered even a fraction of that kind of outrage or backlash.
My God. So his final tweet, his final message to on Twitter/X was the message about this poor girl that has kind of galvanized everyone. And hearing him talk about the senseless tragedy and goodness gracious, man. So you had the clown Kranzensteins, these idiots, basically playing the victims right here. And Asmongold responded and said, "You thought you were cute with the 8647 t-shirts and other coded calls for violence. Now it's happening to you. It's not going to stop. Now it's only going to get worse. And no one should have any sympathy for you. Be safe." Asmongold crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Laughing Man for $100 says Irina Zarutsky. I think I'm saying that correctly. Say it. Say her name. Irina Zarutsky. There you have it. Thank you, Laughing Man. We can never forget her. And her. It's a combination of what happened between her, between Charlie Kirk being so upset about it. Because if you go back, like, I think Charlie's last two tweets were about her. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see here. Yeah. So Charlie Kirk's other tweet was retweeting the Daily Caller. His last three tweets were about it. His last four tweets were about it, basically. So right here. So this was what he tweeted right here. And Van Jones is a literal piece of shit, by the way.
A war of words has erupted between Charlie Kirk and CNN's esteemed intellectual Van Jones over the Charlotte stabbing. Let's get into it.
The narrative that they have pushed forward in the last 10 years is that there is a relentless assault against black people on behalf of white people. And the data does not show that. In fact, it's the exact opposite. White individuals are actually more likely to be attacked, especially even per capita, by black individuals in this country.
People like Charlie Kirk, Van, they've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of like reciprocal George Floyd situation. And that's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong.
All right, time out. I swear, it's amazing how uninformed these people that do these shows are. But let's clue Van into the obvious here before we continue.
Y'all gotta let it go. Y'all gotta let it go.
Then he says that if something like that had happened the other way, there would be sweeping changes imposed on society. Where is the George Floyd Policing Act? It didn't pass. Even when you had a white police officer murder a black man on live television, the whole world saw.
According to the courts, yes, a murder. But according to our two eyes and functioning brain, a fentanyl overdose by a low-life criminal. But go on.
It's about the fact that we don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people.
Yes, he was just a hurt person. So you see, we should have some empathy for him, okay? We don't know what he was going through. That could have been you or I having a bad day and deciding to stab a woman in the neck over it. Charlie Kirk, your response.
Race hustler, Marxist, Van Jones. When a white person is murdered, we don't burn down the country. But when George Floyd overdosed on drugs, it's Floydapalooza. Van Jones, he puts race in almost every situation where it doesn't exist. For example, with the death of George Floyd, Van Jones repeatedly said that it was a racist attack. You know who didn't say that? Keith Ellison, who is the Attorney General of Minnesota at the time, said that race did not play any role in the actions that happened with George Floyd's death. All of a sudden, when we make the left live up to their own standard of rules, there is complete silence by the entire American media. And then Van Jones goes on television and calls me a race hustler for even calling out the facts and the specifics around this case. Van Jones, he wants to keep on trying to find racial motives that don't exist, and he ignores them when they're in broad daylight in front of him on recorded video and a horrendous attack such as this. The media doesn't care about this, and we should start asking why.
That's one of Charlie Kirk's final tweets right there. Wow. Unbelievable, man. We've got this clip right here from Garbage CNN, but let's hear what they have to say about the. Says a CNN law enforcement analyst says Kirk's killer was a skilled sniper.
Obviously, there's a lot of questions about what's happening with this investigation right now, given what we are now hearing tonight, this update from the FBI director that they have released this person of interest who was in custody.
So it's been a fast-moving investigation, but also one with some false starts. Kayleigh, you've got an individual who went to a rooftop dressed in dark clothing, found a sniper's perch, and made a very long shot, a single shot that resulted in this assassination. Reviewing security camera video, they found someone who had similar clothing who was in the area. We don't know the full details of how they got from that video to that individual, and had that person in custody as a person of interest, and determined that in their belief, this was not the shooter. That brings them back to square one. We refer to it as a manhunt, but you know, in the manhunt, as you and I most often talk about them, it's you know who the person is and you have a dragnet out searching for them. In this case, there is another person of interest, but that's again someone that they want to talk to, someone they want to investigate, but not someone that they have enough evidence on to charge right away. So this is a very difficult case for the authorities in Utah and the FBI.
I don't know what's going on in the chat, but there's if we got any if you got any spammers mods, just deport them. Deport it immediately. No due process around here. You get deported immediately if you spam the chat.
So is it clear if anyone is in custody right now, or is the answer still no based on what we know so far?
Based on what we know so far, they have somebody they're interested in who, according to my sources, when I last spoke to them, was not in custody. But, you know, in a case like this, you're looking for someone who has detachment and a lack of empathy, who likes to be in control. The offender characteristics of the assassin sniper.
Laughing man with a you know what? I'm gonna make this one. Let's see if we can make it more prominent here. Let's see here. How do I do this? Style. Boom. Nope, not that one. There we go. Laughing man for $100 says Charlie Kirk. Say his name. CNN needs to Minecraft itself. F. Van Jones. I got the white girl. Racism. CNN needs to be canceled. MSNBC is racist garbage. Why do we have state media in America? Didn't earn it, is everywhere, and they wonder why there are problems to fix. 199. Thank you, laughing man. Dropping some serious bombs. Much needed as well. Thank you, brother. And I'm sure everybody agrees with what you said. I don't even care to listen to what these idiots have to say, honestly, but we do have another story right here because, of course, Mom Donnie is exploiting Charlie Kirk's assassination because, of course, he is.
Charlie Kirk is dead. Yet another victim of gun violence in a nation where what should be a rarity has turned into a plague. And the fact that there are families feeling that same anguish right now in Colorado as they wait for their children, also shot at a school, to emerge from surgery, is the same anguish that too many across our city and our nation reckon with in silence every day as we contend with an epidemic of suffering. We can and we must do more to challenge a status quo that has allowed this pain to become routine, that has allowed the question of which mass shooting to respond to the news of one that is shared.
When your enemy is making mistakes, don't interrupt them. Let him show you who he is, and that is exactly what he and many other Democrats are doing right now. That is exactly what is going on. So let them show everybody who they are. Is that like an official? I guess this is. Like, you've even got official Barstool Sports now tweeting out, anyone who is celebrating a shooting, the shooting of Charlie Kirk, is a psychopath and needs to be put in jail. The left are literal terrorists. Maybe that's not. Oh no, hang on. We are 100% not Barstool interns. Oh wait, so I don't know. I don't know if that's for real or not. But whatever. I agree with the statement, regardless if it's official Barstool or not. Portnoy's already been talking about it too. I mean, listen, man. I mean, all normal people are on the same page about this. That's really the truth of the matter. All normal people are on the same page. What is this right here? Tim Pool. I know Tim knew Charlie Kirk personally.
And I asked them, can I post this? And they said yes. And so this seemed to be it was correct. Charlie was stable. I had gotten a phone call.
I truly like, and I, you know, I don't know. Tim is far more in the loop than I am on this, but like just seeing unfortunately, the video that I've seen, many of you have seen, I don't see any chance. I don't see any chance that he was in stable condition. I really don't. But I'm not a doctor. But I just don't see any way that was possible.
Probably around the same time that Just the News had reported this, confirming to me that Charlie had died. And I just wanted to wait a little bit to make sure because I don't want to believe it. I can't believe it. I'm extremely angry. And I don't even have the right to be the angriest, of course.
I disagree, and I appreciate that Tim's trying to say that, but Tim knew Charlie pretty well. People like Tim and Benny, Megyn Kelly, you know, Ben Shapiro, you know, these guys all knew Charlie Kirk very well. This hits home.
I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the phone calls. I couldn't believe what anybody was telling me. And the only thing I could believe was when they said that he was stable. That was the only thing I could believe because I had to. And I received a phone call a little while ago informing me that Charlie didn't make it. There are some evil people, especially online right now.
Yes, there is.
These videos, these outlets, and I feel like it's not real. Charlie was my friend. He was a good guy. He stuck his neck out for me and my team more than I can say anybody else. And it's not like we don't do a lot with TPUSA. And that's what meant so much to me. That for the past several years, I was just texting with the guy, man. They had me on stage. I have done a lot of business in this industry. I have met some of the sleaziest people you can imagine, and Charlie was the best.
That's the thing, man. Like, so when I first started like really talking about politics and you know, kind of rubbing shoulders with certain people or whatever, this is years ago, and I'd said like, yeah, I don't like Charlie Kirk, blah 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 blah, because I didn't know Charlie Kirk, and I still never knew him, but I do know people that know him. I never heard anybody say anything bad about Charlie Kirk. I never heard anybody say anything bad about him. He had an amazing track record of relationships that people he knew. And it was pretty incredible how many, you know, people spoke so highly of him.
I'm not just saying that. He brought us out to his event. He takes care of my crew. He gets us the production that we need, and we don't even ask. He invites me, a guy who I have publicly stated my political disagreements with Charlie Kirk, but the respect I have for his willingness to sit with me, to have conversations with me, to have debates. And I do think we agree on a lot of things, which is why it makes sense. And it's just amazing how accommodating, how easy, how generous. We got to be at his event, something he built. He started as a young man, working harder than anybody I can imagine to build up Turning Point and Turning Point Action and send a message and inspire young people and promote good and peace and morals. And I'm just some guy who complains on the internet. I've traveled around, I've done reporting, but he does the real hard work. He built a real machine that was fixing this country, and it still is. It still is. And I was lucky enough to be able to be a part of his event that he took care of us and my crew. There's a lot that I want to say that I'm not going to say, but I will say that I'll just paraphrase some of these posts. This is not just the assassination of a political leader. They killed our friend. Charlie would come down to your event and he would sit there at that table, and you, literally anybody, could come up and he would talk to you. Left, right, up, down, top, down, whatever. I'm still sitting here thinking in the back of my mind, this is not correct. CNN's wrong. They're fake news. And I'm going to get a text in a moment saying, Tim, stop. Charlie's okay.
The roller coaster of emotions today has been something that has just been tough. You have Giants quarterback Jackson Dart posted that he is heartbroken over the tragic death of Charlie Kirk. Praying for him and his family. Charlie did great things for our country. Political violence needs to stop. Pray for our country, man. This is disgusting and sad. Getting a lot of people finally speaking up, a lot of people that otherwise would not have said anything. And, this is like Charlie Kirk is truly bringing people together like we've never seen since probably like a 9/11, which again is a whole different, situation. I mean, we're talking about one man that's doing this right now. Let's hear what Sarah Gonzalez has to say.
It was one of those bitches on The View. After President Trump went up on the RNC stage at the convention and he had the bandage on his ear, he had just gotten shot. Kai Trump, his granddaughter, stood up there and talked about her grandfather. And what The View said was, I didn't like it because it humanizes him.
And I know
I remember that. I remember that.
grandchild was up on the thing.
I remember
and they're
that.
trying to humanize him and
Yep.
change your idea about
Yep.
who this guy is. Don't fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about Trump. These people don't want anyone to remember that we are human. And this is the end result of that.
Yep.
They don't want you to be humanized. They want you to be demonized. Because if you're demonized, what comes next is obvious. And what comes next is justified in their mind. That is why they are doing what they are doing. That is why you hear the rhetoric that you heard both before Charlie Kirk was killed. Did he deserve to die because he had a different opinion? Do those children deserve to grow up without a father because he had a different opinion? His beautiful wife has to navigate this alone because he had a different opinion? Is that what the left is reduced to? I hope Van Jones sees this picture of Charlie. I hope his words haunt him forever. It was
This was This was so powerful what Sarah Gonzalez just said. If you guys don't know Sarah Gonzalez, she's part of the Blaze. She's awesome. Make sure you go give her a follow. She is awesome. I've met her. She's great. Wow. I had not seen that. That was really powerful. Thank you, Az. My brother Az. When they do humanize you, they can do anything to you. 100%. 1,000%. And that's the point. No jokes tonight. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, Bob. I mean, for those of you that watch me consistently, or maybe you don't watch me and you found me, a lot of my show is memes and laughing and you know, doing a lot of stuff, but I don't have it in me to do any of that stuff tonight. I just don't. And it's why I didn't even want to go live tonight. I really didn't. But I felt that, you know, there was a few people that might want to hang out and just, you know, burn off some steam, you know. And so that's why. But yeah, I don't have this is not a if you're just finding me for the first time, my normal streams are really stupid. Because I'm really stupid, but this is not really one of those nights for me. So FMJHP for 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Ben Johnson says 1,000 cameras on campus, 9 hours passed. We don't have a single picture of the suspect to look for. How is this possible? And what if the shooter isn't done? This is a legitimately like big concern right now because you know, he is right now as it stands, unless there's an update that I'm not seeing. We have nothing. This person is still going free right now. And I find that to be pretty unacceptable. Here we have Clay Travis, who I've been a fan of Clay Travis for a long time as a sports fan. So let's listen to what Clay Travis has to say.
People say, I am tired of hearing people say, like Barack Obama did, like Hillary Clinton did, oh, we condemn this violence. Guess what? You can't call the president of the United States for 10 years Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
And you can't say that he's a fascist dictator.
Yep.
And you can't say that anyone who voted for Trump or advocated for him, like you, me, Riley, and Charlie Kirk, are Nazis. And then when someone tries to kill us, you can't suddenly say, oh, we condemn this violence. You caused it. Look at me right now. You caused this. When you tell people that someone is Hitler, you are telling crazy people, go kill them. And I am sick of pretending that that is anything other than what they're doing. That guy in West Palm Beach, what did he say? He was killing Trump because he believed Trump was Hitler. This is what they do, all right? This left-wing violence, it's out of control. And Charlie Kirk bore the brunt of that left-wing violence. And guess what? But for the twist of his head at the last minute, Donald Trump's head would have been blown off on live television. And that is intentional. They are lighting fires and then claiming, oh, what do you know? There's a fire there. They're doing it on purpose. MSNBC, Sean, you watch this. They were live on the air saying, one of their guys said, they put out a PR statement. He said, well, Charlie Kirk was riddled basically with hate. And when you put hate out into the world, this kind of thing happens. Oh, tough break. You get shot and killed even though you're completely innocent and all you're doing is making arguments for the betterment of the country. Tough break for your young daughter. Tough break for your son, for your lovely wife that will never get the opportunity to see you grow old with them. I am so angry. And I understand everybody out there says, well, we have to tamp down the anger. I'm not willing to do that right now because I get angrier the more I think about this, Sean. They put the wheels of motion for this in order. They did it, Sean.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to run through a fucking wall after listening to Clay Travis. I'm ready to run through a fucking wall because he's so accurate. When I streamed earlier, what did I say? I said, I need time to process this. I'm back. What did I say? I still haven't processed this. Do you know why? Because there is no fucking processing this. There's no processing this. It happened, and it happened because the left hates your fucking guts. That is why. There's no other reason. That's why I can't process it. And Clay Travis's rant just hit home for me. When I got done with the stream, I said, man, I just got to process all this. And I'm back. And I'm like, I can't process this because there's no processing it. We know exactly what this is about. We know exactly why it's happening. It's fucking bullshit. And we're sick and tired of it. That's the bottom line. We're not confused. We're fed up. You're not confused. None of you in the chat are confused. You're fed the fuck up. You know what happens? Okay, here's my water, okay? All right, it's probably 3/4 of the way full, okay? What happens when I pour more water into this? It starts going to the top, right? If I don't stop pouring water into it, it overflows and it creates a fucking disaster. We are overflowed with anger and frustration. We have sat around and we have waited and we have danced and we have not said the words that you claim offend you. We have tried to work with you and you motherfuckers keep pushing and we are overflowed. There's no room left. You fucked it up. You just overflowed our entire system and we're fucking done. That's the bottom line. We're sick and tired of this shit. Oh, a word offends you? Well, I guess I won't say the word. Fuck you and your feelings. Fuck it. I don't care. And I've always said I don't care. I don't care if you're offended. I don't. Now, I'm not a retard. I'm not going to crash my whole fucking business to be an edgelord. But the bottom line is I don't care about your feelings. I care about my business, not your feelings. So the reason that I will still continue to do that bullshit is because I want to continue my business, not because I care about your fucking feelings. Simple as that. And during that rant, holy shit, 2 $500 super chats, Jason Platten for $500 says, Jeremy, I'm a complete mess right now. Not only am I going to miss Charlie a ton, but this act of evil is just another reminder that people want me dead for my opinions. I haven't cried like this since 9/11. Thank you for streaming again tonight. Feeling alone right now and being here grieving with everyone helps. Love for everyone in the chat. Brother, that's like, it's so like on point about, like I said, there was a super chat earlier that this is the reason. I know a lot of people that hate me are going to be like, oh, of course he's going to go live. He's making all this money. Like, listen, man, I got a family that I care about and that I love. And I love the internet too, but I love my family more. And so I wanted just to, and I spent time with them earlier, but like, I just wanted to just hang out with my family. That's it, man. Like this amazing thing that I have on the internet, and I am truly blessed. But today shook me. But with the blessing of my family, I was sitting and thinking about, yeah, I know you guys are cool if I go live, but I just don't want to. I don't emotionally have it in me. But I am, I don't consider myself anything special because I'm not. I'm just a lucky idiot with a microphone, but you guys make me feel like $1 million when I go live. And so, I felt like, hey, and I don't want to do like the cliche bullshit, like if we can save one life, it's worth it, but it's like, if I can make a few people happy, because I knew Ryan was wrapping up his stream. So I was like, if I could just roll with it for a few hours and give a few people an outlet, we have the greatest community on the internet. I felt like it's worth it. And honestly, this has been more therapeutic for me too. So I'm glad that I did it, but I only did it because of the people. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jason, as long as you're part of the 199 here, Geeks and Gamers, brother, you are never alone. And that's just, like I said, our community here on the internet is very much like my friend group growing up, which I think represents most friend groups, where we roast each other a lot. We call each other names a lot. But if somebody else fucks with you, we're all going to stand up. Because we can call each other retards, but when an outsider steps in and calls us a retard, they're like, fuck you. No. And so that's what happens. That's what happens in this little corner of the internet all the time. And so you're never alone as long as you're here, brother. My boss, Laughing Man, dropped a $500 super chat as well. Thank you, Laughing Man. My goodness. Absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely. You guys are crazy. I don't understand it. You know, I am really nervous right now, just in general, for not only me, but for many of my friends. I saw, like, somebody mentioned earlier, like, you know, did Charlie have like security and all of this stuff? Of course he had security. I don't know to what level, but as someone that pays for security in a lot of different ways, I can tell you that it is you get what you pay for. So like we did a meetup a few years ago. I talked about that. I think I put like $25,000 into security. The whole event cost like 25 grand, but like the security element, because when we do fan meetups, I like to always have a police car in front of the building because I think it sets a tone and a standard. I like to have undercover security. I like to have, public security so people see that we have it. And that is an expensive process. And I hope that a lot of people are taking that very seriously tonight. It's not, it only takes one crazy person, man. And luckily, like I say, I'm in the state of Florida, so I feel pretty good about, everything from my perspective, but not everybody's in Florida. Not everybody's in Texas, but yeah, it's a scary time right now. And I am certainly, I think I'm good, but I'm putting a lot of fucking more money into this shit because, man, you can never be too safe. And I if it's another couple $1,000s that it takes to make sure that the most important things in the world to me are safe, then so be it, but fuck, man, there's a lot of people right now that are nervous. And that's the whole point. They want people to be nervous. They want people to be, scared. And I'm not scared because I know what the ultimate goal is, to win. And just like Charlie Kirk, he's won, man. Charlie Kirk's name will live forever. Charlie Kirk's name will live forever. So if something ever happens to me, I'm quite certain I will, the things that I've said and the things that I've done will live on. And a million new Charlie Kirks were born today. Probably a lot more than a million, to be fair. You know what I mean? And I think that today a sleeping giant has been nudged. And that sleeping giant, when that sleeping giant wakes up, you're going to regret you ever fucked with Charlie Kirk. You are going to regret you ever fucked with him. And that's just the truth of the matter. Man, you guys are crazy awesome in the chat. Thank you. That Clay Travis, man, that Clay Travis speech was awesome, man. Clay Travis is a sports guy. That got me fired up. I was not prepared to be that fired up. But here we are. JD Vance tweets this a while ago, probably in 2017. I appeared on Tucker Carlson's Fox show to talk about God knows what. Afterwards, a name I barely knew sent me a DM on Twitter and told me I did a great job. It was Charlie Kirk. And that moment of kindness began a friendship that lasted until today. Charlie was fascinated by ideas and always willing to learn and change his mind. Like me, he was skeptical of Donald Trump in 2016. Like me, he came to see President Trump as the only figure capable of moving American politics away from globalism, and had dominated for our entire lives. When others were right, he learned from them. When he was right, he usually was. He was generous. With Charlie, the attitude was never, I told you so, but welcome. Damn, look at that. Holy crap, JD Vance. That's a lot, brother. Wow. And I love this part right here. I love that he said, like me, he was skeptical of Trump in 2016. Look, man, I wasn't skeptical like JD Vance was, because JD Vance said some incredibly retarded things about Donald Trump. I've always been a fan of Donald Trump, okay? Always. But I've been a fan of Donald Trump like as an entertainer, as a personality. When Donald Trump, when it was like being rumored that he was running for president in 2016, dude, like, I was like, what's Trump promoting now? What's Trump promoting now? Has he got a new hotel? Has he got a new book? Like, what is this guy up to now? Is he trying to get some politicians on the Celebrity Apprentice? I had no idea. I did say that if he's legitimately like true about this, he could be the most entertaining presidential candidate of all time. And so yeah, I know a lot of people doubted Donald Trump, when he decided to run, and there's different levels of how people doubted it. But yeah, Trump needs to cancel New York tomorrow. I mean, listen, I don't disagree, but I also think that President Trump is going to stand tall and stand firm for America on a day that we remember thousands of people that lost their lives. And for someone that was alive during 9/11 and witnessed it firsthand, it was 9/11 was I don't really even know how to explain it. Nothing in my lifetime will match what I experienced that day. But that said, hang on. Wow. Occupy Democrats. Charlie Kirk spent his entire life disparaging immigrants, disrespecting women, and blaming black folks, only to get shot in one of the whitest places on earth. Holy shit. Wow. We have Legacy Killer points out that several game developers are liking the post by the senior artist mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. So we're making lists now of all of these studios. Let's see. So Bungie, devs from Bungie, Coalition Gears, MTG Arena. And Asmongold responded and says, if you guys want to make a list, if I have time tomorrow, I can put them all together in a video with links to their employees. Charlie Kirk is essentially like Charlie Kirk's passing, tragic assassination is bringing all of the worst people in the world. Essentially, the lights have been turned on and the cockroaches are running everywhere. That's what's happening right now. Jeez. there's just so many things going on. I can't, like, I'm just trying to go through everything, and I can't keep up with everything. I can't do it. So this is, I think it's the guy that took over for Dan Bongino. He makes a chilling point about the name of Charlie Kirk's organization. This wasn't irony, it was divine purpose.
And I've noticed other people point this out today. His organization that he started and has become so successful, it's called Turning Point. I can't help but think in some ways that that's Providential, the name of that organization, that not only did they start something that was designed to help change the country for the better, but Charlie's death today should be an invitation for the rest of us to carry on that mission, to make this an actual turning point for the future of our country. Because Charlie's view is optimistic. Charlie's view is that this country is worth saving and that we can do it. And so whatever your reaction to this today, including your anger over the loss of this man, I think we should channel that energy into carrying on his mission in new ways and tapping into the things that we haven't yet done, each of us, in order to make our country better. So I'm inspired by Charlie, and I'm so sad that we lost him today.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the first one that said it. I know I said it earlier, but I'm not the sort. It wasn't me saying it. I was saying it genuinely. But it truly is a turning point. And I think that's going to be truly part of his legacy. Dan Scavino just tweets out 9/10/2025 turning point. This is what's crazy. Like, again, I want you guys to keep me in check, but like, if I'm getting crazy on this, but it's like, I think this is the most monumental moment in my lifetime aside from 9/11. And it was on 9/10. This is crazy. Like, is this the biggest thing that's happened from an individual perspective since 9/11? And I think it is. I can't think of anything more impactful from a country standpoint, a cultural standpoint, a thing that's impacted people and the way that it happened. Like, yes, I don't remember when it happened. I really wasn't plugged into that world, but like, I know like Princess Diana died and that was a big deal. I don't remember when that was. I think I was really young when that happened. But I don't remember. It wasn't my world. I know that was a worldwide international mega story, but I don't even remember when that happened. You got Michael Jackson's death. Okay, that was huge. Michael Jackson's probably the most famous person of my lifetime outside of probably Donald Trump. Kobe Bryant's passing was horrible. Man, the way Kobe died with his daughter, it impacted me in a crazy way. I can't even really, I don't even want to revisit that. But Charlie Kirk being assassinated in front of thousands of college students by presumably a leftist Democrat that hates him, that hates President Trump, that hates freedom, all in the name of whatever leftist ideology. To me, I can't think of anything bigger. I just can't. Obviously, Trump's assassination attempt is something you could put up there and say is a moment that will live on in history. But, and again, thankfully, we didn't lose President Trump. So, but yeah, this is big, man. This is huge. This is it. I don't think I'm wrong. I think Charlie Kirk's assassination will go down as the biggest moment, individual moment since 9/11, and probably, outside of 9/11, the biggest moment. This is huge. And the shooter, I guess, still hasn't been caught. Mm-mm-mm. Oh boy, we got to hear this one. I don't know if I want to hear it, but I think I'm going to try not to say any words, but Stephen Colbert has released a statement. Stephen Colbert. This could go a couple of different ways, and I don't know if first of all, I don't believe any fucking thing this piece of shit says.
Good evening, everybody. After our scripts for tonight's show were finished this afternoon, we here at The Late Show learned that Charlie Kirk, a prominent right-wing activist, was killed at a speaking engagement in Utah. Our condolences go out to his family and all of his loved ones. I'm old enough to personally remember the political violence of the 1960s. And I hope it is obvious to everyone in America that political violence does not solve any of our political differences. Political violence only leads to more political violence. And I pray with all my heart that this is the aberrant action of a madman and not a sign of things to come.
Who are you praying to, Stephen? I'm curious. Who do you pray to? Since you say you're praying, can you tell us who you pray to? Why don't you give us some details about that? I'd love to know. I'd love to know, Stephen Colbert. I don't believe anything that he says. I don't believe a word out of his mouth. Oh no, man. My feed is just showing me this crap. This is why, like, I hate algorithms. Like, algorithms are, obviously, they're good and they're bad. Like, for instance, Rumble doesn't have an algorithm, which is why it's so hard to grow on Rumble. So Rumble has no algorithm. But then I have algorithms feeding me bullshit, and this is what I see in my timeline right here.
Fucking stoked right now. You want to know why I'm so fucking stoked? Go ahead and Google Charlie Kirk. Go ahead, read the latest headlines, and you'll see why I'm so fucking yes. You fucking.
What is this right here? Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, I mean, it's sickening. It's still difficult to process. It's almost unimaginable that we're talking about Charlie Kirk in the past tense. He was this dynamic, almost larger-than-life figure in a lot of ways, a very charismatic guy who built a movement from the ground up. I mean, Joe was just mentioning Charlie back when he was 18 years old. I met Charlie years before that when he was a teenager living in Illinois, starting this little tiny organization. And you see what he's been able to create out of that and the legacy that he leaves behind in terms of politics, in terms of his professional life. You know, he asked my advice. I mentioned this to Brett Baer, our colleague earlier, Sean. He asked my advice back when I was in my early 20s and he was in his teens about going to college. Was it worth it? Should he pursue a degree? And I gave him kind of traditional advice. I think you should go get that degree. You can get involved in this stuff when you graduate. And he was very respectful and polite about it. But luckily for everyone, he completely ignored my advice because he was cut out for something different, something more, something bigger. And that's precisely what he spent his entire adult life building. And I know that movement will go on. It will outlive him. I think it will be energized. It will be galvanized because of what happened, this act of unspeakable evil today. But Sean, what I can't get out of my head today is that video we've been playing on our air, that just impossibly heartbreaking video of Charlie's little daughter at Fox and Friends when he was hosting one morning, coming into the studio to hug him. That little girl doesn't have a dad now. And same applies to her little brother and Charlie's wife, Erica. It's going to take a long time to pick up these pieces, and it's just gut-wrenching. Well,
It really is, man. JD for 20 says, all this celebrating murder over not sharing the same beliefs is freaking crazy. Watching it in my local news comment section real time here in HTX, probably Houston, Texas, is disgusting. These nut jobs are all around us. Yeah, that's what's scary, man. You just don't know how many crazy people are out there until a moment like this happens. Companion Cube says, I never really watched Charlie. I don't know enough about him outside of his debates, but I feel this hurts because Charlie represents all of us. He is not the government, not the press, just a guy. Yep. Knee High Spy says, seeing that poor girl dying in puddles in her own blood, no one helping. Now this. Sorry, I'm done being constrained. Yeah, I just don't know, like, I just don't know how to process so much of this news anymore, man. Like how we were talking earlier, it's just like all this stuff. Like I was supposed to be playing Mario Kart tonight, and now I'm talking about Charlie Kirk being dead. It's such a whirlwind. And it's not just me. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Benny Johnson's video. Benny Johnson's video is incredibly sad. It's incredibly tough to watch. And yeah, man. I would just say the main thing I would urge people is, if for any reason that you have been lucky enough to not see the video of Charlie Kirk, I would urge you to not watch it. Like, please don't. In my opinion, you're obviously welcome to do whatever you want. I wish I would have never seen the video. It's like, I just wish I would have. I'm not saying like, because when I'm live, my job is to educate people and inform people. So as a person that has the channel and as it needs to inform people, I don't regret seeing it from that perspective. That's my responsibility. But just as a normal everyday person, that is not something that I would have wanted to see. My job now is to say, hey, I've seen it and I don't recommend you watch it, but obviously you can do what you want. It's brutal, man. It's nasty. And the first one was bad enough, and that one was from a distance, but that one that's close up is just rough. It really is. I know I'm way behind on supers. I'm behind from earlier stream too. I know. Blackguard for 20 says the Irina and Charlie acts are coming, and when they pass, some people are in for a rude awakening. These two horrific events so close together have pissed off too many people to not have major change come. Agreed. Ben Johnson says, I got that one earlier. Let's see. JRG Project says, I think the point was to finish what we started in 2016. The Dems will not stop till we all end up like Charlie Kirk, one way or the other. It's now or never. We have them on the run. Finish the mission. Little Jim's Halo says, we will remember both Charlie and Irina. Radical Dems and communists have awakened something in regular everyday Americans. It's not just politics. It's the very future of the United States of America. Long Rod says, I wasn't very political until around 2020, and Charlie was one of the first people I started tuning into from the conservative circle. Not gonna lie, this broke me a little. This will cause a reckoning bigger than I can imagine. Yeah, and I don't know how this even stops. I think that, like we were talking about today with Trump, and for the first time today, as obviously as a supporter of Trump, as a believer of Trump, and I do think that Donald Trump is the only person on the planet that could accomplish the things that he has accomplished. You know what hit me today is that it's a scary thought, but I was like, I don't know if Trump can fix all this shit, dude. I don't know if he can fix all of this. Not by himself. Now, thankfully, he's got a really good administration, and JD Vance is awesome. Marco Rubio is awesome. But I just don't know, man. Donald Trump is an amazing person, but he's only one person. And he can only process so much. I mean, like, he didn't even know about the shooting of the Irina girl until a reporter asked him about it. And I'm not saying that he's at fault for that. Like, the man is keeping up with so much. He can't know everything. Some people, I saw people saying earlier too that they thought Charlie Kirk was positioned to become a future president of the United States. I don't know if Charlie Kirk could have actually been president of the United States, but he would have been a major political player. But he certainly, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Trump can't repair people who have no morals. You don't know if he would have wanted that? That's true. Yeah, I mean, we don't know if Charlie Kirk would have actually wanted that. Arizona governor, think he was going to be, was that like a rumored thing? Again, I did not follow Charlie Kirk that much or anything like that. If I saw certain things, with him, I'd react to it, but I was not like, I didn't know most of the things. Kingmaker for the next 40, 50 years. Laughing Man says Jeremy reads all the chat but mine. I still have like 175 and 350 super chats on the previous stream. So it's there's a lot to go through. Aussie Dad Andrew says still doesn't feel real. It doesn't, man. And I kept refreshing Twitter earlier, just seeing if a mistake was made, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand that this was happening, and I still don't. Man. Look at this tweet from Charlie Kirk in 2016. You can tell a lot about a person by how they react when someone dies. Wow. Look at there. There you have it. Unbelievable. This is Kongman. Shout out to Kongman. So it fills me with tears seeing that Charlie had such a positive impact on millions of people throughout the world. A life well lived. I hope you're looking down from heaven, proud of the good work you accomplished and the souls you helped save. Liberty students gather to pray for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones. That's awesome to see right there. That is awesome to see. I saw Kongman actually made a tweet earlier that he here, let me see. So Kongman's great. If you guys don't follow Kongman, you should. He's awesome. Where's his tweet? He's probably got a ton of tweets in the past few hours. Hang on, because he made a tweet about that when he found out about Charlie. Dang, I know he's been tweeting a lot. Right. Where's it at? I liked his tweet earlier. Let me see if I can find it. He had a tweet when he talked about finding out about Charlie Kirk. Did he remove that tweet maybe? Nope, right here it is. Here it is. Here it is. He said, holy shit, I hung out with Charlie Kirk in Korea this weekend. I just woke up to the news that he passed away after being assassinated. I'm at a loss for words. I am heartbroken and grieved over this evil. Please join me in praying for Charlie and his loved ones. That's freaking crazy, man. Wow. Kongman's good peeps. I've hung out with Kongman a few times. He's a good dude. We've had him on streams before. So, man. Unlimited 32 says, I heard Charlie got shot by laughing peers in my class. A man was killed over something, over someone being unable to handle different opinions. What the fuck is wrong with my country? Will there be a GoFundMe? May Charlie enjoy his eternal reward. I don't know if they have like anything like that. I mean, you know, there's opportunities to support TPUSA and all that. I don't think personally, I just don't think that the money is the focus of the family right now. I think the focus of the family is to find the person responsible. I think that's their number one goal right now. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, right now, the person that killed him is still running free right now, and I think that's the family's focus. Again, I can't speak for them. I have no idea. So, Joseph says, I feel so pissed and numb. Haven't felt this way since 9/11. Yeah, I hear you on that. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm not your buddy guy. Says, it's high time treason and sedition charges were brought against media, and it must not stop there. I want commies afraid to ever speak again. This is war, and they are the enemy who seek our destruction. AOE2 freaks as hell. Jeremy, it's a tragic day. Who knows what the implications will be? Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Cherry Allen for 10. Thank you. Appreciate it. Vets Talking. What's up, Vets Talking? Says Timcast called this our MLK. They're not wrong. This could spark a revolution. I just hope it's a peaceful one. There's no way to tell what's ultimately going to happen and come from this. There's just no way to know. What we do know is that if Charlie Kirk were on the left, that that he would we would have cities burning to the ground right now. And that's just the truth of it. You know what I mean? So DD67 says, great work, you and Ryan. Thank you. Let's see. Paul S says, I knew one of the assassins would eventually succeed, but it never ever crossed my mind that the one they would get would be Charlie Kirk. He single-handedly helped elect Trump and gave all credit to God. That is who Charlie Kirk is. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the video of Charlie Kirk when Trump got elected, but that's a pretty powerful video, and that's the Charlie Kirk that most people have come to realize. Let me see if I can find it, because I did bookmark it earlier. And this is the Charlie Kirk that everybody should remember. I think I bookmarked it. Yeah, right here. This is incredible, man. This is gonna make a lot of people emotional, but this was Charlie Kirk when Trump won the 2024 election.
Fox News decides Donald Trump is president of the United States. We've got our republic back, folks.
Let's go.
There it is. Everybody should remember this moment. Look, I'm gonna echo Charlie from earlier. Remember where you were when this happened. Remember where you were when you realized that the Uniparty and all of these, just the establishment, you said it's time to actually participate. And look what you guys have done.
And if anyone deserves to get tears in his eyes, it's Charlie. I think we all agree. I think Erica was chopping some onions or something in the break room. No one has worked harder than Charlie for this.
We gotta hear some words here from you, Charlie. You put all this together, my man. Let's hear it.
I am just humbled by God.
It's all God. It's all God. God alone. God alone. Decision desk has it. Pennsylvania. is beginning.
Fuck. I didn't know that was going to be so hard to watch. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. That is just, he's a father. He's a husband. He's a patriot. And knowing he's no longer here because of a crazy lunatic that was, more than likely brainwashed by the media. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what to say after that. I don't know what to say. It's been a long fucking day. Yeah, he was kind and respectful. He was a good person. Yeah, did he have different opinions than people? Oh my gosh, what horror. What horror. He had different opinions. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, what is this right here? So Stephen Colbert. Oh, people are playing like older clips of Stephen Colbert running his mouth.
Look, I know how numb we've become, but it's not normal. No other candidate for the presidency has ever had to pause his campaign to defend himself in multiple courts. And I would like to point out that in all 7 of his cases, no one doubts that he did these things. We're just sitting around patiently waiting to find out if the wheels of justice will grind fast enough for there to be any consequences. And the media is covering it like it's any other political story, like it's all horse race. But in this horse race, one of the horses is old. Well, one of the horses is old, has hoof and mouth disease, and keeps quoting Horse Hitler. Now, at least send him to the glue factory.
Tolerant left, everybody. The tolerant left. That's who they are. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier, and I didn't get a chance to cover it because it was so overwhelmed. And I personally, I bookmarked this, so I got to find it. But this was earlier in the day. So I want to listen to this really quick with all of you for the first time. I got to find it right here. So, right here, Lauren Boebert requests moment of silence and prayer for Charlie Kirk. Democrats, no. Anna Paulina Luna says, y'all caused this. I have not heard this.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Yeah, you can't really hear it. So, but I want to. There's about 15 seconds left.
The House will be in order. We will join prayer right after this, okay?
My gosh, man. What the Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. That's the Democrats, though. There's so much reaction. There's so many people tweeting about this. Here's Kayleigh McEnany.
We all knew him. We all loved him deeply. I knew him for 13 years, Sean. I received a text message from him yesterday when I was on the 5, and my takeaway from that exchange, it was brief, was just his absolute love for his family. I met Charlie when he was 18 years old. I was 6 years older at the time, and I remember he would go on Stuart Varney's show, and then I would go on, and we were the 2 millennial voices that would be on that program. And one day he said, "Hey, let's meet up. I want to tell you about something I'm starting." And I met with him at a restaurant called Fresh & Co. right by Fox. And he told me about Turning Point. And we couldn't imagine what that would become from that point on, this young man with an idea that became a movement. But Sean, my takeaway with Charlie is, we talk about left and right, and Charlie would point right. But more than that, Charlie pointed up. He had this authentic, real love for Jesus Christ, and his conservative philosophy was an outgrowth of that. But he would go to these campuses. I would speak at his women's event, and he would speak to lonely people who were lost on social media, felt empty, felt depressed on college campuses, and he would give them hope in Jesus Christ. And the last thing I would say, Sean, is I know that I know that I know that I know this. Charlie Kirk did not die today. Yes, he left his body. But I guarantee you, when he took his last breath, the first words that he heard were Jesus Christ saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." I'm thinking of Erica. She's a beautiful, beautiful mom, a beautiful woman, beautiful writer. I'm thinking of his kids. But I know where Charlie Kirk is today, and he is very, very much alive.
And look at this tweet that I just saw Breitbart put out. This is Charlie Kirk from 2011. Real Donald Trump, you speak the truth. As one of the youth, I feel you are a visionary, hero, and a leader of this country. This is from 2011. I just want you guys to know, I do see the people in the chat talking shit, and you guys know normally that I am in the mood to just roast them and go off on them and monetize them. I don't have it in me tonight, man. The best response I have to you people in the chat that are trolling is you're not worth the energy. Not today. You're just not worth it. It's just simple as that. Like, normally I have a lot of fun roasting people like you. I don't have it in me tonight, man. I really don't. So normally it's roast and have fun and, get super chats out of you, but I just don't have it. So you can just, continue to scream into the void, but I don't have the energy to battle back with you. So, I come back next week. Maybe I'll feel differently, but right now I don't have it in me at all. So just too sad. It's too sad right now. Let's see. Okay, what is this? This was a couple of hours ago on Fox News. This is interesting right here. Let's listen to this report right here.
And
this is about a couple of hot leads, foreign intelligence. We may know something in the next couple of days, talking about the leads that they have on the person that assassinated Charlie Kirk.
And we all lost, and no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, we lost something important in America today. But the case goes on, the investigation goes on. There's a lot of piecing of evidence together. We don't have a shooter tonight. We have a couple leads, a couple people that were released that probably aren't the shooter. There's a couple hot leads. There's a little bit of foreign intelligence. And I think over the next couple of days, we will learn a lot more. And hopefully we will bring to justice the evil person who did what they did to Charlie today.
Yeah, I hope so. I am hearing that they do have a couple of people of interest. That's the latest I heard from
That's correct.
Law enforcement. You're here.
I just can't believe we don't know anything yet, but So the ghost of Yote Dev is pretty much doubling down at this point. Yikes. Well, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Never do it. All right? That's the bottom line. Don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Let these people continue to show you who they are. Let them expose themselves. And we will just be right there. There you have it. Good point, D-Day Cobra. Yeah, I mean, these people are, like I said, right now, we're in uncharted waters right now, man. And like people, like this is a person right here who Scott Pressler should be very, very, very concerned. He is always out and he's always trying to get people to sign up to vote. I'm sure somebody like Scott Pressler is absolutely shaken up, as he should be. And this guy was like very, very instrumental in, getting President Trump elected. Absolutely was. What is this? Breaking: Assistant Dean of Students at MTSU has been fired effective immediately following vile comments celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. What is, again, let them continue to show you who they are. This is going to keep happening. We've had MSNBC people getting fired. We're having video game developers showing you who they are. This was a little bit earlier, but after Charlie Kirk was shot, this is before he was pronounced dead, Elon Musk declares the left is the party of murder. I know Elon and Trump have had their differences, and I also know Elon is just a whimsical guy. I really hope Elon and Trump can get back on the same page. I do. These two guys are too important. They're way too important, and I think Elon's the one that I think Trump has been the bigger person all through this anyway. I think Elon Musk is a genius, and geniuses are weird, but we need Elon and Trump back on the same page. We absolutely do. Spammer back. Yeah, there are probably a lot of spammers. I mean, with the amount of people that are here watching us tonight, a big shout out to our mods who are holding it down. We have they're so dedicated to what we do around here. They're the best. So, here's Valiant Renegade says Hassan can't help himself. He's a dedicated lefty that obeys his masters. You reap what you sow. You don't get to whine about the consequences of your actions like a petulant child now. So here's Hassan. Trump is signaling that he's going to use Charlie Kirk's death to launch a war against the left and liberal organizations. I mean, always the victim. Always. Hail Valiant Renegade. I think I saw you in the chat earlier. Valiant was, Valiant's been covering a lot of this stuff earlier. For those that are just tuning in, there's one clip that I want to play again that I think really puts this into perspective. This is one of the best clips that we've watched tonight, and that is from Sarah Gonzalez. We watched this earlier. For anybody that missed this, I want you to see this. This is very powerful and passionate from Sarah Gonzalez.
It was one of those bitches on The View. After President Trump went up on the RNC stage at the convention and he had the bandage on his ear, he had just gotten shot. Kai Trump, his granddaughter, stood up there and talked about her grandfather. And what The View said was, I didn't like it because it humanizes him.
And I know his grandchild was up on the thing, and they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is. Don't fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about.
Talking about Trump.
These people don't want anyone to remember that we are human. And this is the end result of that. They don't want you to be humanized. They want you to be demonized. Because if you're demonized, what comes next is obvious. And what comes next is justified in their mind. That is why they are doing what they are doing. That is why you hear the rhetoric that you heard both before Charlie Kirk was killed. Did he deserve to die because he had a different opinion? Do those children deserve to grow up without a father because he had a different opinion? His beautiful wife has to navigate this alone because he had a different opinion? Is that what the left is reduced to? I hope Van Jones sees this picture of Charlie. I hope his words haunt him forever. It was.
Can't say it any better than that. Can't say it any better than that. Apparently tonight, I have not heard this, but Greg Gutfeld dropped an F-bomb on Fox News. I hope they don't edit it out here. So let's see.
Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers for his family. They need it from all of us. And Jesse's right. If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message. I believe that was the message. It's really hard to radicalize Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're not the radical type. But if you thought that you were going to shut a movement down, you're going to get a rude awakening. You woke us the fuck up.
And we will.
Yeah, I know that it's somewhat object of mockery to say thoughts and prayers, but
Hell yeah. That's it. That's it, Greg Gutfeld. Hell yes. That's what I'm talking about. My goodness. That's how everybody feels. That's how everybody feels. Beef Nasty says 200 yards isn't hard. I can get on the green on a par 3, but I only got one hole in one. He got lucky, probably shooting for the chest. It's sad. He got me into politics. Love you, man. Keep it up. Thank you, Beef Nasty. Appreciate it. Girl Flom says they shot Charlie where they did symbolically to silence him. But they have no fucking idea how much they amplified his voice. Godspeed, Charlie. You are what an American man should aspire to be. That is really well said. President Ball says far leftists aren't people and don't deserve to be treated as such. They are responsible for 100 million human deletions. And if you oppose their agenda, they want you gone. People deserve mercy and forgiveness. Just saying. And over on Rumble, NBSD dropped 20 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Wolverine Schnick becomes a monthly supporter on Rumble. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we did get 5 gifted memberships earlier on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Rumble that I saw go by, and it's not showing up in the feed anymore. So I apologize to whoever sent those 5 gifted memberships on Rumble. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Cosmic Cowboy says, I was in total shock seeing what happened with Charlie Kirk today. I am even more angry now, even after the passing of the Ukrainian woman. Harmful rhetoric is totally to blame for the violence of innocent people. Well said. Dracan says, thank you for coverage today, Jeremy. You may be a fig, but you're our fig. We love you. And the rest of the crews from FNT, Nerdrotic, Side Scroller, Southern Craig, Geeks and Gamers, have no idea what you mean to us. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. And what I mean by that is I don't understand why people watch me. I don't understand why people super chat. I don't understand why we have the support we have. And I'm not sure I'm ever going to understand it. and I'm okay with that. And I speak for people like Gary and Ryan and Jay and everybody in the crew, you know, Beardo, Chris, Steph, everybody who's on Tuesday night's main event, everybody that's, you know, on Friday Night Tights. Like, none of us think we deserve a damn thing from you. None of us. We are blessed with the opportunity to do what we do. And if tomorrow it all goes away, we're still going to be the most thankful people in the world. And that's the beauty of all of it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Here's another tweet that I was not aware. So one of Charlie Kirk's final tweets here, and Wokeness put this up, but or retweeted it. America will never be the same. Charlie Kirk tweeted that out. That has 548,000 likes, 38 million views. That was on September 9th. So that was yesterday. Almost all of Charlie Kirk's tweets prior to what happened to him were about Irina. Almost all of them. And then you got some fucking person trying to sell fucking t-shirts in his fucking replies. June's Melody, thank you for the 20. I'm buried deep right now with like there's like 200 more super chats here. There's 350 from earlier. I will try to get to some of these in a catch up, but I got to be honest, I am mentally exhausted, and I'm getting texts from my family that I need to go. So just so everybody knows, my mom just had major knee surgery. My dad is exhausted because he's been trying to take care of her. So I you know, trying to help them out. Right when Charlie Kirk, right when the shooting happened, I was getting ready to take my mom to the doctor because I put it on the community post. I said, I was going to go live today, guys. I can't go live. I got to take my mom to the doctor. The reason I was taking my mom to the doctor was because my dad is exhausted because he's been helping her for the last, you know, week or whatever it's been with her, you know, she had total knee replacement. And for anybody that's familiar with knee replacements, it is a very difficult process. So she's been trying to get around. She has not been the most pleasant person in the world to be around. She's been very, she's probably watching right now. She's been very mean to my dad. And my dad has kind of been like, I'm fucking done with this bitch. And I'm like, I know, Dad. I know. And so today I was like, I won't go live. I'll take her to the doctor. You can rest. Just rest. And then this whole thing happened. And my dad's like, I got her. Go live. I'll take her. And I felt bad, but like, you know, at the same time, my dad understood how big the ramifications were for this. And so, but yeah, I just hope everybody out there that's watching this stream is okay. I hope you're doing all right. I apologize for people that I haven't gotten your super chats. You know, I know there's a lot, and sometimes these bigger streams, like 98% of my streams, I get all the super chats. Occasionally we hit these big moments where there's just so many that I can't get to all of them. Laughing Man will always remind me of this. I am going to go live on Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow with Ryan and Jay. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. So me, Ryan, and Jay will be on Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow. With the passing of Charlie Kirk and it being 9/11, I just wanted us to kind of have a united front for sure. And what Gary say in the chat just now, let's hope MAGA stops all the petty squabbling and unites to fight for our future is far from over. 100%. Fantastic Knox says, I think you got to be with family, Jeremy. You've done a lot for us to entertain us, to inform us. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity, man. I really do appreciate it. I'm mentally exhausted and I'm physically exhausted, and but we'll fire it up tomorrow for Geeks and Gamers Daily. You know, I hate leaving super chats unread, but is anybody live that I can point you guys to or anything like that? I mean, I know everybody's pretty, you know, exhausted. Watchman Prime over on Rumble says, tomorrow is another day. Thanks for the coverage. We appreciate you, even, you know, though you're a, I can't say it, but you said it in the Rumble chat, so it's all good. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I'll see you for Geeks and Gamers Daily in the morning. And hug your family, hug your loved ones, and don't take any day for granted, because you never know, man. You just don't know. When do you think Charlie Kirk thought that today his life would end? Do you think Charlie Kirk's wife and kids thought that they were going to go to sleep tonight without their husband and father? And they didn't. And they are. And it's awful. And so many people. This is going to impact people for the rest of our lives. This is never going to go away. Just like her passing is never going to go away. We're never going to forget this stuff. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for the support and for being awesome. And, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Geeks and Gamers Daily. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.